And welcome back to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium as we get set for tonight's game between the AppleSox and the Kamloops North Paws. I'm Joel Norman, and we're joined by the head coach of the Wenatchee AppleSox, Mitch Darlington, ahead of our 6:35 p.m. first pitch. So, Coach, obviously a great game for you guys last night. The bats came out early and often, kind of gave you some time to relax a little bit. We were talking earlier today, though, it gave you the chance to relax a little bit in terms of managing your pitching staff. Quincy Vassar was rolling. You pulled him early because, well, there was really no need with how well he was pitching, and you got some other guys some work. What does it mean in that type of game to be able to tell a guy to head out to the mound and, look, just relax, don't overthink it, because you're kind of in a stress-free situation?
Yeah, it's good for numerous guys on our pitching staff to be able to go out and just relax and throw strikes and just trying to get into a rhythm and work on some things and get back in the groove of it.
I think for anyone who watched this weekend's games against Corvallis, you probably weren't surprised with the intensity that the AppleSox came out with yesterday, despite an off day in between. How important is it to maintain that here tonight and pick up a series win?
Yeah, it's huge. Good team in Kamloops coming into town here, and anyone who's following the standings knows they're one game ahead of us right now. So this is an important next couple days, and we've just been trying to take it one day at a time and trying to gain some ground here in the north.
You mentioned the standings. How much are guys on this team watching the standings? Obviously, it's right next to their locker room at home. Is that something you hear guys talking about a lot of times?
Yeah, we, I'm one that's, I don't shy away from looking at where we're at in the standings and talking about playoffs. I know there's certain coaches that don't like to talk about winning or don't like to talk about, worrying about the future. I mean, we're focused one day at a time, but I think it's important to know where you're at and what you got to do to get into the big dance at the end of it.
I think that's something that you've done. You made a point of that this whole season, even before the season. The winter, you were talking, the goal is to get in the playoffs and the goal is to win it all. How important do you think it is to set that standard so early on and in a lot of ways keep pushing it that whole time? Because it seems like that's been an important thing for the identity of this team this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who said it, but a smart person, much smarter than me, said it's important to think about the end in mind or start with the end in mind. So we have that kind of vision of what we want to do and what we want to accomplish here at the end of the summer. And so we know what we got to do day in, day out to get to that point.
We're chatting with Mitch Darlington, the head coach of the AppleSox, ahead of tonight's game between the North Paws and the AppleSox. And Mitch, what has it meant to be playing all these games at home recently? Obviously the weather's gotten a little bit warmer, but regardless, it has to have been really nice to be at home. You had a stretch where 2 of 3 weeks you spent 6 games on the road at Canada. Road trips are nice, they bring the team together, but I imagine it's a little more fun sleeping in your bed for an extended period. Would you agree with me?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, nice to be home, be able to hang out with the family a little bit, see some friends and family in the stands here, and not only for me, but for these guys as well, to be able to sleep in their normal beds and be able to get a workout in at their gym and just kind of have their pregame routine rather than being on the road and eating at random places and trying to find a gym to work out at. So it's good. It's definitely good. We enjoy being back home.
Jack Moffett getting the start here tonight. What did you like about him the most the last time you saw him? Because it's been a couple of weeks, but he was pretty solid. 4 1/3 against Kelowna, season high 6 strikeouts in that one. What have you liked about him in that outing the last time out, and what have you really enjoyed about him this summer?
Yeah, I think the big thing for Jack is just controlling the game, controlling himself, and filling it up early and getting into attack mode and letting his stuff play. He's gotten into trouble when he's trying to be overly aggressive or overly make pitches. He just needs to go out there and let his stuff play. He's got good stuff and be confident in it.
You've mentioned it a couple of times this season on days when he starts. He's a different cat on days he pitches. Explain to fans some of the slight differences you notice in Moffett when he is pitching versus when he's not.
Yeah, I mean, on his off days, he's out here shagging, messing around. Today, it's completely locked in. He's in the clubhouse right now. He's got his headphones in, high-fiving everybody as they come back into the clubhouse. So he's just a different animal when it's his day to pitch.
Fired up for his start day. Well, Mitch, thank you for joining us. Best of luck tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Joel.
That was the head coach of the AppleSox, Mitch Darlington, joining us. We'll have much more in a moment here from Paul Thomas Senior Stadium ahead of the AppleSox versus the North Paws.